What's up everybody, my name is Moxie and in this video I'm comparing Logic Pro's stock EQ to FabFilter Pro-Q 4. I'm only going to compare these two on sound, not on workflow, UI or other features. I've prepared two examples, one is a drum loop and one is a sample, and I routed them to identical tracks with the same settings, so in that way when I flip the polarity they cancel each other out. Here is a drum loop without any processing. And here is what happens when I invert the polarity. They cancel each other out perfectly. Here is the sample without any processing. And this is what happens when I invert the polarity. They also cancel each other out. On the stereo bus I have a loudness analyzer so we can see if there's anything left over. Let's start with the drum loop with a linear phase Lowcut on 500 Hz with a 48 dB octave slope. On the FabFilter 500 Hz 48 dB octave slope. I've matched the Q values. Logic's 0.71 sounds about the same as 1Q on the FabFilter Pro-Q 4. Let's do a quick blind A/B test so we can check if we can hear any difference between the two plugins. Let me know in the comments if you heard any differences. The answer is drum loop A was FabFilter and drum loop B was Logic. Now let's see if there's any difference if I invert the polarity on one of the two signals. As you can hear, they almost cancel out perfectly. There's just a little bit left, but that's really low in volume. So for simple low cuts, you can grab one of those. You won't hear any differences. I personally would pick the one with the lowest CPU use. Let's quickly check if there's any difference between the channel EQ and the zero latency setting on the FabFilter. Okay, for example 2, I have a sample loop with different kinds of instruments and we're going to boost some frequencies to see if we can find any differences there. I did a bell boost on 100 Hz of 5 dB, a bell boost on 1500 Hz of 4 dB and a high shot boost on 7000 Hz of 5 dB. I matched the same values on the linear phase EQ, but the Q values sounded the same on 0.67 on the bell boosts and 0.95 on the high shell boost. And I've set the output to -6 dB so we don't have any distortion. Let's do a quick A/B test so we can see if we can hear any differences just by ear. Which one sounded better? Let me know in the comments. And the answer is loop A was Logic and loop B was FabFilter. Now let's check the polarity cancellation again. As you can hear, there's still some differences this time, mostly heard in the boosted frequencies. The core signal still cancels out, but again, the tonal difference is really subtle. Let's check the channel EQ again real quick and zero latency on the FabFilter Pro-Q 4. Sounds quite the same to me. So what's the verdict? If you ask me, the differences are really small. It's almost not worth mentioning. Where the FabFilter Pro-Q stands out for me is the workflow. It has a lot of extra features like dynamic EQ, the spectral EQ and the character. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. For me personally, I always grab for the Pro-Q 4. Not just because of the workflow and the extra features, but also because I paid a lot for this EQ, so I really want to use it. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on another one. Peace!